isn't for the bird's sake.
Doesn't look like a bird.
No, very erratic shape, though, and one that we have seen things a little bit like it, but...
Yeah. Well, the ones that I was saying that it looked like a silvery star, but that didn't even look like that. Quito, Ecuador, that's a city I know well. I've been many times. I never saw a UFO in Quito, but...
somebody did.
Someone did.
Now that
I will see. Actually, there's a few more also. That didn't.
Oh,
that was
yes.
Not much. Oh, this is certainly controversial now.
Okay, here we are. World Trade Centers in our town.
It must be that these people are taking the cruise. You know, there it is.
Oh my God.
But.
Is that going to come back into frame?
I think there's a second take, or it might just be a repeat. There it is. Well, the funny thing is both of us live in New York City, and we never heard of this case.
No, and...
I mean, obviously this is taken by Italian tourists, but if it was seen by other people, we never heard. So, I don't know. I remain... I'd like to know more about that one before I can accept it. Now, this one,
we've got somebody rising out of the water, it looks like.
It's just like a little black blob there.
Not enough to read or...
These are all from the vigilantes, which is Spanish word for watchers. And in the audio, you can see the people very excitedly commenting, and and they're describing the object and all, because these people go in groups. And
well, that certainly adds a certain amount of credibility. Although I'm sure other people would criticize them and say, "Oh, you're all believers,"
Right?
But hey.
That's okay. It's their time and their camera.
And there is strength in numbers.
Although still in Mexico in general, though, there's got to be more strength done in the analysis. There's been too much just collection of material, but not enough analysis. Maybe it's because before this whole video revolution, there was very few UFO groups in Mexico, oddly enough, even though it's a big country. They did not had a very strong tradition, like Brazil, Argentina. Other countries in Latin America had strong tradition of ufology. But Mexico, I mean, obviously, there have been cases.
Sure.
But it did not have a very strong ufological tradition.
See, now that's something where you are really one of the best specialists in our field, because there are not a lot of American ufologists that have spent nearly as much time as you have in Latin America, Central America. That's something I wouldn't have known.
Here you get a view. There's Mausan.
Yeah.
And here you see what these guys do. They go in groups and they take binoculars. And in Chile they do also that.
Look at that movement.
Right. And in Gulf Breeze, for that matter. But these people have like an actual group. They're a little bit more organized. But like I said, mostly in the collection of material, the analysis hopefully will come with time. And obviously some analysis has been done, but I think more needs to be done.
Well, we love that fella to slap or gal to slap on a telephoto there. No question about the fact it's got all of their attention.
Oh, sure.
Well, most of their attention.
Yeah, and the comments are quite lively, and the audio, for those of our viewers that can understand Spanish.
Wait a minute.
No, that was just zooming, I think. The guy's trying to zoom the camera.
Right. Goes out of focus and then...
Depends on the camera, too. I think some of, or the distance of the object. Right, self-correcting. And sometimes, in fact, by trying to zoom too much, you lose resolution instead of... Now, here's this new sort of fashion in the Mexican videos, which we already saw a little bit on the previous tape from the previous batch, but we'll see more and more now. Not the same type. It looks like the same type of white objects, little ones, balls, whatever, but now they're in groups.
It's funny, this reminds me of some of the very earliest footage we saw.
The Tremonton, Utah, and the Mariana film.
Just so.
Very similar.
Same types of groupings, and it makes you wonder. That is 40 years before.
And later we will see more with even more. I mean, towards the very end of this series, we'll see one like with 60 or 80 or something like huge.
Filled.
Yeah.
And then you find yourselves asking, well, why over Mexico City? If they're showing themselves, what's their master strategy? What's the plan?
And what's the purpose?
What's the purpose? And you know what? We have no idea. Whatever their purpose, their reasons, if again we're dealing with other intelligences from very far away places, we can only make educated guesses. At least that's my point of view and predisposition. Nobody has ever told me.
No, but I mean, there's in this field, as you know, there's tremendous amounts of speculation about various aspects of it, but and data, of course, but 50 years later, since the beginning of it, we're still
not really sure what's going on.
And there's practically no agreement at all, even within the UFO community itself. There are many divisions about everything.
It's funny to think back, even in the 20-odd years since we got involved, how attitudes have changed. We came in at a time when serious cutting-edge research only revolved around objects seen in the sky. And it was almost introduced like an explosive force when somebody dared to present the idea that perhaps if these are machines, somebody's in there behind a steering device and it may not be a human being. That was very politically incorrect at a certain point.
Well, not so much in the 70s, but certainly in the 50s and early 60s, even pioneer organizations like NICAP, they practically would not touch cases with humanoids,
Just so. It seemed demeaning.
APRO did. APRO were pioneers on that. But NICAP, they liked metallic